Did you know there's a theory that the world as we know it was born from the corpse of a cosmic dragon? Today, we delve into the story of Tiamat, the dragon mother of chaos, a central figure in Babylonian mythology who embodies primordial chaos. From her role as the creator of the universe to her transformation into a destructive force, her tale is as fascinating as it is dark, filled with epic battles and cosmogonic secrets. Stay until the end to uncover how Tiamat not only shaped the world, but also left behind a symbolic legacy that continues to resonate in our modern culture. To understand Tiamat, we must place ourselves at the beginning of time, when nothing existed, except an infinite ocean of chaos. In Babylonian mythology, this ocean was composed of two great forces, Tiamat, representing the salt waters, and Apsu, embodying the fresh waters. These two were not gods in the conventional sense, but primordial, eternal entities that coexisted as the foundations of the universe. From the union of Tiamat and Apsu, the first gods were born, bringing with them something new and unsettling. These younger gods, such as Ea, also known as Enki, began to disrupt the balance of chaos with their creativity and energy. While this change might seem like progress to us, to Apsu and Tiamat, it was a direct threat to their eternal, tranquil existence. Unable to tolerate the disorder caused by the young gods, Apsu decided to take extreme measures. He planned to destroy them all to restore the calm that once existed. However, the young gods, led by Ea, discovered his intentions. In an act of boldness, Ea killed Apsu before he could carry out his plan. This marked a pivotal turning point for Tiamat. Devastated by the loss of her companion, Tiamat was consumed by grief, yet her sorrow soon turned to rage. What was once a force of creation and life became a whirlwind of destruction. At this juncture, Tiamat underwent a critical transformation in the myth. She vowed to avenge Apsu's death and unleash chaos upon the young gods who had betrayed her trust. To do so, Tiamat transformed. No longer merely an aquatic entity, she assumed the form of a colossal cosmic dragon, a terrifying creature embodying chaos in its purest state. But she didn't stop there. She created an army of monsters, grotesque hybrid beings designed to inspire fear and wreak havoc. These creatures included giant scorpions, bullmen, and serpentine dragons, all prepared to annihilate the young gods. This moment in Tiamat's story is profoundly symbolic. She represents not just literal chaos, but also the natural cycle of destruction and renewal. Her transformation into a dragon is not an act of malevolence, but a response to betrayal and the disruption of primordial balance. She is a force striving to restore what she perceives as justice, though her methods are undeniably devastating from our perspective. In Babylonian mythology, Tiamat is not simply the villain. She is an ambiguous entity, both mother and destroyer. Her story invites us to reflect on how chaos and conflict are necessary for change, for something new to arise. Indeed, without Tiamat and her wrath, there would be no story. There would be no cosmos. When Tiamat learns of Apsu's death at the hands of the younger gods, something within her changes forever. The primordial force that was once a creator now becomes a destroyer. This marks a turning point in her story. The mother of the gods who once gave them life now sees them as traitors and enemies. Her rage is not merely emotional, it is cosmic, and her vengeance will determine the fate of the universe. In her transformation, Tiamat takes on the form of an immense, terrifying dragon. In Babylonian mythology, the dragon is not merely a monstrous creature. It is a symbol of absolute chaos, a force that refuses to be controlled. Her form is meant to intimidate, to declare that she is the embodiment of primordial power. This metamorphosis reflects not only her wrath, but also her intent to return the universe to a state of pure chaos, eradicating everything she perceives as corrupt. Yet Tiamat does not face the younger gods alone. She assembles an army of hybrid monstrous creatures designed to spread chaos and destroy her enemies. These beings created by Tiamat are as fearsome as she is, bullmen, giant serpents, dragons, and creatures that blend human and animal traits, each of them represents the breakdown of natural order, the triumph of chaos over structure. Among her creations, one stands out, Kingu, whom Tiamat appoints as her commander-in-chief. Kingu is more than a military leader. Tiamat entrusts him with the tablets of destiny, artifacts that, according to mythology, grant absolute control over the cosmos. With these tablets in his possession, Kingu and Tiamat's army become an unparalleled threat to the younger gods. This moment in the story illustrates the magnitude of the conflict. It is not merely a battle between gods and monsters. It is a cosmic war between two opposing forces. Primordial chaos, embodied by Tiamat, and emerging order, represented by the younger gods. At stake is not just the control of the cosmos, but the very existence of a structured world. Tiamat's transformation into the dragon of chaos is not merely physical, but deeply symbolic. It represents the resistance of chaos against order, an eternal struggle that transcends Babylonian myth and resonates in many other cultures. By becoming the dragon, Tiamat does more than challenge the younger gods. She defies the very notion of an organized, predictable universe. Tiamat's story reaches its climax in an epic showdown between chaos and order. Faced with the looming threat of Tiamat and her monstrous army, the younger gods find themselves in a state of despair. They needed someone strong and courageous enough to confront the dragon mother of chaos. It was then that Marduk, the god of justice and order, stepped forward with one condition. If he succeeded in defeating Tiamat, he would become the supreme leader of the Babylonian pantheon, with no other choice. The gods accepted his proposal. Marduk prepared for the battle in a unique way, armed with a net to trap Tiamat, a divine bow and arrow, and a mighty mace. He also brought with him the winds, symbolic and literal tools that would prove pivotal in the fight. His strategy relied not only on brute strength, but also on intelligence and cunning, both essential when facing such a formidable foe. When Marduk confronted Tiamat, the clash was titanic. The cosmic dragon rose with all her ferocity, unleashing storms of venom and fire, while her army of monsters attacked mercilessly. However, Marduk cleverly used the winds to his advantage, deploying them to trap Tiamat and force her to open her massive mouth. At that moment, he launched an arrow that pierced her throat, ending her life decisively. Tiamat's death not only marked the end of the battle, but also the beginning of creation. Marduk split Tiamat's body into two halves. From one, he formed the heavens, from the other, the earth. Her eyes spilled tears that became the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and her blood was used to create the first humans. Thus, the world as we know it was born, quite literally, from the corpse of a cosmic dragon. In esotericism and dark cult practices, the figure of the mother dragon of chaos is interpreted as a primordial force, symbolizing resistance to order and the destructive power necessary for renewal. Specific rituals invoke her to work with chaotic energies, enabling the transformation of life aspects and dismantling internal or external systems that hinder personal growth. These practices often include ceremonial rituals using salt water to symbolize the primordial ocean of her mythology, a place of absolute chaos from which all things are born and to which all things return. In certain rituals, invoking this deity may involve chants derived from the Akkadian or Sumerian language to connect with her energy. These chants are paired with symbolic actions, such as breaking objects, representing personal limitations, or burning inscriptions of fears and traumas on clay tablets or paper. The remnants are typically offered to water as a return to the primordial chaos, echoing the mythological narrative of her body being divided to create the universe. In some traditions, symbolic representations of the tablets of destiny, which she bestows upon King in the original myth, are created. These tablets are viewed in esotericism as tools to gain control over one's destiny. During rituals, intentions or desires are inscribed on these representations, which are then destroyed or released as acts of empowerment and personal transformation. In certain Luciferian and neo-pagan circles, Tiamat is associated with rebellion against divine order. Her battle with the younger gods is reinterpreted as an allegory of resistance against oppressive structures, be they social, religious, or mental. During these ceremonies, participants may destroy icons of control systems, such as religious figures or geometric symbols of perfection, to symbolize rejecting imposed order. These practices do not seek chaos for chaos's sake, but rather aim to harness it as a tool for reclaiming individual power. In chaos magic, Tiamat becomes a central archetype used to alter perceptions of reality. Here she is not worshipped as a literal deity, but as a symbolic force representing the potential to rewrite life's rules. Practitioners visualize the cosmic dragon as a destructive force devouring obstacles or rigid patterns, making way for new narratives. These visualizations are often performed in deep trance states, induced through breathing techniques or repetitive chants that mimic her chaotic energy. In neo-pagan circles focused on feminine power, Tiamat is viewed as a representation of feminine, creative chaos linked to fertility and transformation. Ritualists consider her a source of hidden wisdom, accessible only through confronting internal shadows. This inner work often includes guided meditations where her serpentine form is visualized, coiling around the individual, symbolically breaking down mental or emotional barriers that impede growth. Tiamat's esoteric significance lies in her duality as both destroyer and creator, offering a profound lens through which to explore chaos, not as disorder, but as a necessary force for transformation and renewal. The story of Tiamat, the mother, dragon of chaos, is not just a myth lost to the sands of time. It is an eternal reminder that chaos is a fundamental part of existence, not as an enemy, but as the very source of creation and transformation. From her destructive fury to her legacy as the foundation of the cosmos, this primordial figure teaches us that change only happens when we have the courage to face disorder, to dismantle the old so that something new can emerge. Chaos is not the end. It is the prelude to something greater. On a philosophical level, we all carry within us a spark of that primordial chaos, a force that drives us to question, to break barriers, and to seek a deeper purpose. Just as in the myth, the challenge is not to avoid chaos, but to learn to walk alongside it, to channel it, and to transform it into a force that shapes our inner and outer worlds. If this tale has sparked your curiosity about esoteric knowledge, and you want to continue exploring the hidden mysteries of our existence, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Together, we will keep unveiling the secrets of the universe, one by one, so we can better understand the forces that shape us. Thank you for joining us, and remember, chaos doesn't destroy, it transforms.